played a lot of ball games growing up in Baltimore.
Albert William Kaline was born to Nicholas and Naomi Kaline in Baltimore, Maryland on December 19, 1934. Though he grew up poor, he would go on to become a true bonus baby. A multi-sport athlete as a child, he suffered from osteomyelitis, a disease that forced surgery to remove a piece of bone from his left foot. It required him to learn to run on the side of his foot, gave him a bit of a limp, but it did not hamper his play. So his parents, who had noticed his baseball talent early, drove him all around Baltimore so he could play in as many leagues as they could get him into. He flourished at Southern High School, and pro scouts started coming around. In June 1953, Al's senior year, Tiger scout Ed Catalinas inked Al to a major league contract, $30,000, big money for the time. The contract also came with a ticket straight to the major leagues, completely bypassing the minors. His first game with the Tigers was June 25th, 1953.
I hit the first pitch to center field, and I was so nervous I don't remember a thing about it.
He hit 1 home run in 28 bats that year. In 1954, he played regularly but injured himself running into the right field wall, prompting then Tigers owner Walter Briggs Jr. to remove a row of Briggs Stadium seats jutting out into the field. And that's how Kaline's Corner got its name. But in 1955, Al's second full season, he amazed, winning the American League batting title. Number 6 hit .340, becoming the youngest player ever to do so, a record that stands to this day. He made the American League All-Star team and would do so for the next 15 seasons and twice more in the 1970s. Al made a reputation for himself as an all-around extremely consistent player with a strong arm and a timely bat, and that's how he became known as Mr. Tiger. He did have a temper, though. In 1967, he struck out and slammed a bat into the bat rack, breaking his hand. He missed a month of the season. In the storied 1968 season, a wild pitch broke Al's left arm, and he missed 6 weeks. By the time the Tigers had made the World Series, he hadn't played much, so he offered to sit out the series. But in a move now legend in baseball history, Tigers manager Mayo Smith decided to put Al in right field and move Mickey Stanley from right to short. Early on, the Tigers didn't play very well, trailing 3-1 to the Cardinals, and Lou Brock leading the way for the Redbirds.
He belts McLean's second pitch into the stand. A tremendous 420-foot home run. What a dismal beginning for the Tigers.
In Game 5, Al had his shining career moment.
And this brings up a veteran player of 16 seasons. Detroit's sentimental favorite, Al Kaline, playing in his first World Series.
Al's clutch bloop single to right scored 2 runs, making Tigers history.
I'm just happy that our team's been able to bounce back, and now we'll go to St. Louis, and maybe we can just squeeze it out. You never know.
Bounce back they did in a most memorable comeback.
Bill Freehan waits for it. The Tigers are the new world champions.
Al's reaction, of course, came quiet, classy, and humble.
It sent the goose pimples all up my back, and it was a tremendous thrill to think that I was able to do something for the fans after all these years.
Al kept playing at his high level for the next 6 years, yet toward the end, he felt he hadn't played particularly well, and one season he turned down a $5,000 raise. In 1974, as the new designated hitter, he reached another historic milestone.
The pitch is swung on. There's a drive down the right field into the corner. He'll be in for a big hit, maybe extra bases.
Al reached the 3,000 hit plateau, just the 12th player at that time to get there. He retired at the end of that season with 3,007 hits, 399 home runs, and hit 309 times. Former Tigers manager Billy Martin had this high praise for Al when he retired.
Joe DiMaggio, Willie Mays, and Al Kaline. And those are the 3 greatest players I've seen as far as doing everything. Base running, outfield, throw, hit.
Retirement wasn't really in the cards. Immediately, Al went into the Tigers broadcast booth doing Tigers television color commentary with George Kell on WDIV and Pass Sports. Major League Baseball remembered Al's noteworthy career, though, his .297 lifetime batting average and 10 gold gloves. So in 1980, the minute he was eligible, Mr. Tiger found himself giving a speech in Cooperstown.
By far, being inducted into the Hall of Fame is the proudest moment of my life.
Al called the Tigers' 1984 World Series win and a lot of lean seasons in between. But when he left the booth in 2002, he stuck with the team, becoming an advisor that utilized him heavily during spring training. In all, Al spent an incredible 64 years with the Tigers, Al would talk Tigers with our Bernie Smilevitz over the years thereafter, but he always harkened back to that one magical summer.
I hope a lot of the guys are able to get back here because I'll never forget, I will never forget 1968 because we were world champions. And for 1 year, we were the best.